My mom left for her anniversary trip and forgot I existed for 3 weeks. No food. Natasha, stop being dramatic. I left you plenty of money for food. You left me $35, Mom. For 3 weeks. I've been eating instant oatmeal and saltines for days because I ran out. Oh my God, you're so ungrateful. Do you know how much Gregory spent on this trip? The least you could do is be happy for me. I called you 19 times. You didn't answer once. We were busy, Natasha. This was our anniversary. Everything isn't about you. My mom left for her anniversary trip and forgot I existed for 3 weeks. No food, no check-ins, nothing. Hi, I'm Natasha. Today, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. I was 14 when my mom married Gregory. She'd been single my whole life, and honestly, I was happy for her at first. Gregory seemed nice enough. He worked in pharmaceutical sales, made good money, and actually laughed at my jokes during dinner. My mom, Linda, was a medical billing specialist who'd always struggled financially. So when Gregory came along with his townhouse and his Lexus, she was over the moon. The changes started small. Mom began working late more often, going to Gregory's place instead of coming home. I'd make myself dinner, do my homework alone, text her goodnight. She'd respond with a heart emoji around midnight. On weekends, they'd go to breweries or take day trips, and I'd stay with my best friend Haley's family. Your mom seems really happy, Haley's mom, Karen, said one Saturday while making us French toast. She had this gentle way of asking questions that weren't really questions. Yeah, she is, I said, drowning my French toast in maple syrup. How are you doing with all the changes? I shrugged. It's fine. I'm 14, not a baby. I can handle being alone sometimes. Karen nodded slowly, but I caught her and Haley exchanging a look. After the wedding, I moved into Gregory's townhouse. My room was smaller than my old one, and the walls were thin. I could hear everything. Gregory wasn't mean to me exactly. He just didn't see me. I was furniture, background noise. He'd walk past me in the kitchen, grab a Corona from the fridge, and head to his den without a word. If I said hello, he'd grunt. If I asked about his day, he'd say fine and put in his AirPods. And my mom, she was so wrapped up in being Gregory's wife that being my mom became something she did in the margins. Natasha, we are going out for dinner, Mom would say, already putting on her coat. Can I come? It's a date night, honey. There's leftover pizza in the fridge. This happened 2-3 times a week. I stopped asking. Eventually, I stopped expecting anything different. School became my refuge. I joined the photography club, stayed late for projects, volunteered to help teachers after class, anything to avoid going home to an empty townhouse. My grades were good, straight A's actually, but Mom barely noticed. She'd glance at my report card, say that's great, sweetie, and go back to texting Gregory about dinner reservations or vacation ideas. But Haley noticed. You're at my house more than yours now, Haley said one afternoon while we worked on a biology project. Is that okay? Obviously. I'm just saying, is everything cool with your mom and Gregory? It's fine, I lied. They're just really in love, I guess. What I didn't tell her was that I'd started buying my own groceries with the babysitting money I earned. Mom would forget to go shopping, or she'd buy things for her and Gregory's meals and forget I existed. Ribeye steaks for them, nothing for me. Wine and artisan cheese, but no sandwich bread. I learned to make ramen, grilled cheese, scrambled eggs, anything simple that didn't require much. I was getting pretty good at taking care of myself. Too good. The announcement came in February, about 6 months after the wedding. Natasha, sit down. We have exciting news. Mom was practically vibrating with excitement. She had that look she got when Gregory bought her something expensive, giddy, almost manic. Gregory put his arm around her. We are going to Costa Rica for our anniversary. 3 weeks of paradise. My stomach dropped. 3 weeks. That's when we leave, March 1st. Mom showed me pictures on her phone. Beaches, resorts, infinity pools, private villas with rainforest views. What about me? She waved her hand dismissively. You'll be fine. You're so mature for your age. Besides, it's not like you're 10. Mom, I'm 14. I can't stay alone for 3 weeks. Natasha, don't be dramatic. You'll go to school, come home, do your homework. It's easy. We'll leave you money for food. How much money? Enough. Don't worry about it. Can I stay with Haley's family? And impose on them for 3 weeks? Absolutely not. You're not a charity case. She said this like I'd suggested something offensive, like asking to stay with my best friend's family was shameful. Gregory was looking at his phone, completely disengaged. This was my life, a problem to be solved so they could go have fun. Mom, please. Natasha, enough. This trip cost a fortune. We're going. You're staying here. End of discussion. I tried talking to her 6 more times before they left. Each time she brushed me off. You're being overdramatic. Other kids would love this freedom. Stop trying to ruin this for me. That last one stung the most. I wasn't trying to ruin anything. I just didn't want to be abandoned. The morning they left, Mom rushed through the townhouse, throwing last-minute items into her suitcase. Gregory was already loading the car, checking his Apple Watch impatiently. Okay, there's money on the kitchen counter. $35 should be enough for groceries. $35 for 3 weeks. Natasha, we have food in the pantry. Use that first. Be smart about it. She kissed my forehead quickly, distracted. We'll call you when. But she was already out the door, rolling her suitcase behind her. Gregory didn't even say goodbye. He just honked the horn twice and they were gone. I stood in the kitchen staring at the bills on the counter. $1.20, $1.10, $1.05. This couldn't be real. In the pantry, I found 1 box of stale crackers, half a jar of Jif peanut butter, a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, and some Cheerios. The fridge had milk that expired in 4 days, 3 eggs, and condiments, Heinz ketchup, French's mustard, Kikkoman soy sauce, nothing substantial. This couldn't be real. She couldn't actually expect me to survive on this. I called her that evening. It went to voicemail. I texted, Mom, can you send more money for food? $35 isn't enough. No response. Day 3, I called again. And again. By day 5, I'd called 19 times. Nothing. Every call went to voicemail. Every text showed as delivered but never read. I rationed everything. Cheerios for breakfast, small portions, barely half a bowl. Peanut butter crackers for lunch. The soup I stretched across 3 dinners, adding water to make it last longer even though it tasted terrible. I was hungry constantly. Actually hungry, not just I want a snack hungry. My stomach hurt. I felt dizzy in class. By day 7, I couldn't focus on anything except the clock, counting down to when I could go to Haley's house. You okay? Haley asked during lunch on day 8. You look pale. Just tired. I'd packed crackers for lunch because I had nothing else. I watched her eat her turkey and Swiss sandwich and felt my mouth water. My hands were shaking slightly. Want half my sandwich? No, I'm good. But she pushed it toward me anyway. I took it because I was starving. I tried not to eat it too fast, tried to look normal, but I was so hungry it hurt. Karen picked us up after school that day. Natasha, honey, you're here for dinner, right? If that's okay. Of course. I'm making lasagna. I went to Haley's house every day that week. Karen never said anything directly, but she started making extra portions, packing me leftovers, for lunch tomorrow, honey. She knew. I could tell by how she watched me eat, how she'd casually mention, oh, I made too much spaghetti. Please take some home. She'd load up Tupperware containers with food and insist I take them. I was too desperate to refuse. Week 2 was worse. I had $3 left. The Cheerios were gone. The milk was long expired, growing something fuzzy in the back of the fridge. I was surviving on peanut butter crackers and whatever I could get at Haley's house. I stopped looking in mirrors because I didn't want to see how my face was changing, how my cheekbones were getting sharper. Natasha, Where's your mom? Karen finally asked on day 12. We were sitting at her kitchen table, and I was eating my second helping of chicken and rice. Anniversary trip. Costa Rica. For how long? 3 weeks total. She'll be back soon. Karen's jaw tightened. And she left you alone for 3 weeks. I'm fine. Really? Does she call you? I looked at my lap. She's been busy. Natasha. Karen's voice was gentle but firm. This isn't okay. You know that, right? Please don't make it a big thing. She'll be back in 9 days. I just need to make it until then. Karen didn't look convinced, but she nodded slowly. You're staying for dinner every night until she's back. No arguments. And I'm packing you breakfast and lunch too. You don't have to. I'm not asking, Natasha. I'm telling you. By week 3, I was barely functioning. I'd wake up exhausted, drag myself to school, count down the hours until I could go to Haley's house and eat. My clothes were getting loose. I had to wear a belt to keep my jeans up. I had a constant headache that wouldn't go away no matter how much water I drank. My photography teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, pulled me aside on day 19. Natasha, I'm concerned about you. Have you been eating? Yes, I'm fine. You're not fine. You nearly fainted during class yesterday. I just stood up too fast. Natasha. She looked at me with these kind, worried eyes. What's going on at home? And I broke. Right there in the photography lab, I cried and told her everything. The trip, the money, the food, the calls my mom never answered. How I'd been hungry for almost 3 weeks. How I was afraid to tell anyone because I didn't want my mom to get in trouble, but I also didn't know how much longer I could keep going like this. Ms. Rodriguez's face went from concerned to furious. Wait here. She came back with the school counselor, Mr. Davidson. I had to repeat the whole story. They asked questions, took notes, their expressions growing darker with every detail. They called Karen, who came immediately, looking angrier than I'd ever seen her. I knew something was wrong, Karen said, hugging me tight. Natasha, why didn't you tell me sooner? Why didn't you tell me everything? I didn't want to be a burden. A burden? Honey, this is neglect. That word hit me like cold water. Neglect. I'd been thinking of it as Mom being forgetful, self-absorbed, irresponsible. But neglect, that was serious. That was child abuse. Mr. Davidson made calls. So did Karen. By the end of that day, I was staying with Haley's family temporarily, and several adults were using words like CPS and mandatory reporting and investigation. My mom and Gregory returned on day 22. I wasn't at the townhouse when they got home. Natasha, where are you? Why isn't the townhouse clean? We've been traveling for hours. I'm at Haley's house. Well, come home. We have so much to tell you about the trip. Wait until you see the photos. I'm staying here for now. What? Natasha, stop being ridiculous. Come home right now. No. Silence then. Excuse me. You left me for 3 weeks with $35 and no food. You didn't answer my calls. You forgot I existed. Natasha, stop being dramatic. I left you plenty of money for food. And that's when everything I'd been holding back came pouring out. You left me $35, Mom. For 3 weeks. I've been eating instant oatmeal and saltines for days because I ran out. Oh my God, you're so ungrateful. Do you know how much Gregory spent on this trip? The least you could do is be happy for me. I called you 19 times. You didn't answer once. We were busy, Natasha. This was our anniversary. Everything isn't about you. Karen took the phone from my hand. Linda, this is Karen Bennett. Your daughter has been staying with us. Several people, including school officials, have filed reports with Child Protective Services regarding Natasha's care during your absence. I heard my mom shriek through the phone. You can pick Natasha up tomorrow at noon to discuss next steps. Bring your husband. We'll all talk. Karen hung up. Haley squeezed my hand. You're going to be okay. The next day, My mom showed up alone, still tan from Costa Rica, wearing a new sundress that probably cost more than she'd left me for food. Natasha, come on. We are going home. This has gotten completely out of hand. Where's Gregory? Karen asked. This doesn't concern him. Natasha's my daughter. He lives in the home where Natasha was left alone for 3 weeks. It concerns him. My mom's face flushed. You people are blowing this completely out of proportion. Natasha's 14, not 4. She's fine. She lost 9 pounds, Karen said coldly. She was fainting in class. She's not fine. 9 pounds. Mom looked at me. Actually looked at me for the first time. I saw her register my hollowed cheeks, my baggy clothes, the dark circles under my eyes. Natasha, why didn't you tell me you needed more money? I called you 19 times. I was on vacation. For 3 weeks. You didn't check on me once. Oh, so now I'm a terrible mother because I took 1 trip? Do you know how hard I work? Do you know how much I sacrificed raising you alone? Linda. My grandmother's voice cut through the room. I hadn't even heard her come in. Grandma Dorothy, my mom's mother, stood in the doorway looking like judgment personified. Be quiet. Mom, stay out of this. I said, be quiet. Grandma walked past my mom like she wasn't there and hugged me. Baby girl, pack your things. You're coming to stay with me. Mother, you can't just take my daughter. Watch me. Grandma turned to face her. You left a 14-year-old child alone for 3 weeks with $35. She lost 9 pounds because she didn't have food. The school called CPS. You couldn't be bothered to answer your phone 19 times. So yes, Natasha is coming with me. You can't do this. I'm her mother. Then act like it. Grandma's voice could have cut glass. I raised you better than this, Linda. I don't know what happened to you, but this stops now. My mom started crying, but they were angry tears, not sad ones. This is all Natasha's fault. She's so needy, so dramatic. I finally found happiness with Gregory, and she can't stand it. She's trying to ruin my marriage. The room went silent. Wow, Haley whispered. Even my mom seemed to realize she'd gone too far. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. I stood up, my voice steadier than I expected. You meant every word. This whole time I've been apologizing for existing, for needing food, for wanting my mom to care about me. But you know what? I'm done. Natasha. I'm going to live with Grandma. I don't want to see you or Gregory. You forgot about me for 3 weeks. Mom. You chose a vacation over making sure your daughter was okay. You don't get to be upset now. CPS did investigate. They interviewed me, my teachers, Karen, my grandma, even some neighbors. My mom tried to claim I was exaggerating, that there was plenty of food, that I was a difficult teenager trying to get attention. She showed them bank statements proving she'd left $35. Like that proved her point. Then Karen showed them the photos she'd taken of me during week 3. The weight loss was documented. Ms. Rodriguez provided statements about my declining health, my near-fainting episodes. Mr. Davidson had notes from his observations. Haley testified that I'd been eating at her house every single day, sometimes twice a day. The investigator was thorough. She checked the townhouse's pantry, bank statements showing Mom's spending in Costa Rica, hundreds of dollars on zip-lining excursions, fancy dinners at resort restaurants, spa treatments while I was home starving. Phone records proving she never called me once in 3 weeks, never even tried. The evidence was overwhelming. My mom didn't face criminal charges. The investigator said that because I was 14 and ultimately got help, it fell into a grey area. But there were consequences. Gregory left her. Turns out he had no idea she'd left me alone like that. He thought I was staying with family. When the investigation started and neighbors were interviewed, his name got dragged into it. His colleagues at the pharmaceutical company heard about it. He was furious. They were divorced within 6 months. Mom's parents, my grandparents, cut her off financially. They'd been helping with her car payments and insurance. Not anymore. At her medical billing office, word spread. One of the billing specialists was friends with Karen. Soon, everyone knew what happened. Her supervisor had a quiet conversation with her about the company's reputation and family-friendly image. Her performance reviews started mentioning concerns about judgment. The biggest consequence? Me. I refused to see her. She'd call and I wouldn't answer. She'd text paragraphs about how sorry she was, how Gregory had changed her, how she wanted to start over, long messages about how she'd been stressed and not thinking clearly, and how she never meant for things to get so bad. I blocked her number. Grandma became my legal guardian. I got therapy, gained the weight back, started thriving. I'm 17 now, about to graduate. I'm healthy, happy, and applying to art schools. My photography portfolio is strong. My grades are excellent. I have friends who actually care about me. My mom? She moved to a studio apartment across town. Gregory remarried someone else, a woman with no kids. Her parents still don't speak to her much. She works reduced hours because of her reputation. She's alone now, which is ironic considering that's exactly what she left me. Last month, she tried one more time. She showed up at Grandma's house unannounced. I was leaving for school when I saw her standing by her old Honda Civic, the one my grandparents no longer helped pay for. She looked older, tired. The tan from Costa Rica was long gone, replaced by a grayness that seemed to come from inside. Natasha, please. Just 5 minutes. I looked at Grandma, who stood on the porch with her arms crossed. She nodded slightly. My choice. 5 minutes, I said. We sat on the porch steps. She didn't touch me. I've been in therapy, she started. For 6 months now. My therapist says I was so desperate to keep Gregory that I lost myself. That I abandoned my responsibilities as a mother because I was terrified of being alone again. Okay. I'm not making excuses. What I did was unforgivable. I left you to starve, Natasha. I ignored your calls. I chose a vacation over your safety. I blamed you for ruining my happiness when all you did was need your mother. I didn't say anything. I lost everything. Gregory, my parents' support, my reputation, my home. But the worst thing I lost was you. And I did that to myself. She wiped her eyes. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I deserve the chance to ask. But I needed you to know that I see it now. I see what I did. And I'm so sorry. I looked at this woman who gave birth to me, who raised me alone for 14 years, who then forgot I existed for 3 weeks. I tried to find the mom I remembered from before Gregory, the one who would make pancakes on Sunday mornings and help me with science projects. She was gone. Maybe she'd been gone for a while. I don't forgive you, I said finally. Not yet. Maybe not ever. You didn't just forget to call. You heard me say I was scared, and you told me I was dramatic. You came home and your first concern was that I hadn't cleaned the townhouse. Even when Karen told you I'd lost 9 pounds, you made it about yourself. I know. And then you blamed me. You said I was trying to ruin your marriage. That's not something you can just apologize away, Mom. That's who you became. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. Maybe one day we can talk again. Maybe one day I'll be ready to hear more than just sorry. But not today. Not for a long time. I stood up. I have to get to school. Okay. She stood too, not trying to hug me. Thank you for listening. That's more than I deserve. I watched her drive away, and I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no relief. Just nothing. Grandma put her arm around me. You okay, baby girl? Yeah, I said. I really am. And I was. So here's my question. Would you ever forgive a parent who did this? Or are some betrayals just too deep to come back from?